Good evening, and welcome to the public hearing. This is April the 8th, 2025. This is for the rezoning of the Hedgemont property. That's 1107 Hedgemont Avenue. This would be a change from an R2 to a C3. There was a sign-in sheet in the back, and then also I have received a sign-in sheet. So I'm going to call your name. Now you'll have 3 minutes to speak to the board. There's no interactions, no questions or anything, because 3 minutes is short. So we want you to have your time to say what you want to say concerning this matter. So we will begin with Tiffany Calvert. Also, the timekeeper will let me know, and I'll just wave when your time is up.
Okay. Fine. I'll try my best. Good evening. I'm Tiffany Calvert. My husband, Liam. We own the property 1107 Hedgemont. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight over something that's incredibly important to my family, my business, and I believe the future of this city. Our request to rezone is 1107 Hedgemont Avenue, formerly known as Stonebridge Academy School. When we first entered contract into this building, we were asked not to apply for rezoning immediately because of a recent transaction in the community that was over a failed attempt to rezone the property for a drug rehabilitation center by the previous owners. That was not us. The request was voted down, and understandably so. We also agree that this is not an appropriate location for a drug rehabilitation center. It sits too close to fairgrounds, a neighboring school, active soccer fields. The place to have that is not in the middle of where we are. That situation brought a lot of public attention and concern, and because of it, we were asked to hold off on applying for the rezoning. It gave the community time to settle down and rebuild trust before revisiting the idea. The previous mayor was also the one that encouraged us to apply for a special exemption instead, saying it would be simpler, quicker, temporary solution that would allow us to move forward with our plans until the timing was better for rezoning. After 2 years, the city contacted us and expressed that they felt that enough time had passed and it was now appropriate time for us to move forward with the rezoning of the property. Let me be clear, this property is not a random commercial property. It's the home of our business, Cheer Magic, which is our family's livelihood. We've been in business 12 years this month. We searched for a space like this for years, a space within the city limits that had high open ceilings, unobstructed floor plans for safe, competitive cheer and tumbling training. It's very hard to find a building for the needs of what our business is. There's very few, if any, properties that meet those requirements. And when we found 1107 Hedgemont, it was perfect for us. The building is 50,000 square feet and over 70 years old. It's expensive to operate. In fact, our utility bill for the month of February was $6,600. That alone speaks volumes about the scale of responsibility that we've taken on with this property. When we made our budget, we planned for 2 years of startup with the expectation of getting multiple programs up and running to sustain the building. We are now in year 3, and many of those programs have been delayed because we have not been able to operate at full capacity due to the zoning limitations. We currently are working to open a nonprofit child care center inside the building. It's not just another business, it's a response to one of the greatest needs that our community is facing. Lack of child care is one of the major obstacles preventing new industry and the workforce growth in our area. We've gone through hours and hours of licensing steps, and just last week we had the state licensing program and 2 state fire marshals that inspected our facility. We have been cleared to care for up to 49 children without the need of a sprinkler system. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up a little bit shorter, but I know that there's been concern specifically that we are preparing to sell the building. I want to speak very clearly to that. It's 100% not true. It never has been true. I grew up in a family business, and I'm raising my children to understand the value of hard work and the service to the community that's needed. The building is a part of our long-term plan. We're here to stay. We have zero interest in selling it, and any claims to that is just false. I have a daughter who would love nothing more than for this to be hers one day.
Madam, I was going to say, Madam Mayor, it's been...
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Yep.
I think there's more.
I believe it's Evie Shockley. And your 3 minutes will start when you start, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, my name is Evie Shockley. I'm 12 years old, and I have been a part of CMA for 7 years and will be starting my 8th in May. My goal today is to help you to understand how important CMA is to me, made me the person I am today and the person I hope to be. The first reason out of many is everybody took me in with open arms and made me feel wanted. I had done many sports before I joined cheer, and I didn't ever feel as included or wanted than at CMA. Another reason is CMA brought me to my second family. I cannot imagine my life without any of my teammates or friends I have met at CMA. CMA has taught me to be disciplined, responsible, and hardworking. Every day when I get home from school, I am just waiting for the time I get to go back to my second home. Now, I want you to close your eyes and think of your favorite place to be. I bet you thought of the beach or someplace that you would usually go to for a vacation. Well, not me. When I think of my favorite place, I think of being upside down in the air or being in the practice room lifting somebody over my head. CMA has made me realize that I want to cheer at college at UT so I can follow in Coach Tiffany's footsteps, definitely not Liam's to Alabama. It has also made me realize that I want to travel as a chiropractor with college teams and eventually open my own gym or maybe even take over CMA. Tiffany and Liam have been one of the greatest blessings in my life, and this blessing should continue to be shared throughout all of the children in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Lindsay Richardson.
And obviously, I'm not Lindsay. She's much better looking than I am. Thank y'all for the time to speak on CMA and the Calverts. And as far as planning and zoning goes, very little that I know about it. You guys have forgot more than I'll ever know. But growing up in a small business and family owned, I feel like I have a little bit of insight on that. And when you walk in the gym, of course, coming from small business, that's just things you notice. You know, it's just built into you to notice those things. So when you walk in the door, the young lady right there is presentable. She's friendly. She's cordial. Whatever you need. The concession stand's well stocked. How efficient they are with the map there, different things going. It's just impressive. It's a well-oiled machine in there. So as far as the business goes, you couldn't ask for a better one to have stay in your community. And then as far as the girls go, I mean, it's Lindsay works there, Charlie's an athlete there, and that's a tough relationship for them to manage when your customers are your friends and your athletes, and they do a phenomenal job with that, much better than I could ever do. Charlie's excelled under their guidance, and she just clicks off new skills, feels like every month, and it's great for her confidence, and not only now, but as she grows older. We can go to Duluth, Georgia, Orlando, Kentucky, Nashville, and compete and succeed. It's just, I know when I walk out, being from a small town, it's, you know, you kind of walk out with your chest poked out. We go up to, just left Nashville this weekend. They took home grand champs, won everything that you could win up there. It should be a source of pride for our community. You take these girls from a small town, they go out and they compete on a national level. We go to Orlando last year, 130 teams up there. They come out in top 25 or 30. I mean, you know, it's a great business, but it should be a source of pride for our community that we think our girls from here, train them the way that we do, send them out to compete, and they can compete on a national level under the tutelage of these two here. Of course, the Calverts, can't say enough good things about them. Fine people, they do a great job with their business, and just tickled to know them and have them be a part of me and my daughter and my family's life. So thank y'all so much for the time to speak, and hope that you'll consider all this tonight when you cast your vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Brindley.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'm here to support the Calverts and their request to rezone 1107 Hedgemont Avenue for a number of compelling reasons. First and foremost, Magic Athletics is a vital asset to our community. This rezoning is not just timely, it's essential. It will better serve our community and align seamlessly with the surrounding land, which is already commercially zoned. Magic Athletics began as a small cheerleading business, renting space at Stonebridge Academy. They grew, they moved to the historic cotton mill, and eventually to an old warehouse on Stockyard Street. I witnessed this journey firsthand. That warehouse had little heating and no cooling, and yet they persevered, supporting families throughout each transition and ultimately growing to 200 athletes. This history illustrates their unwavering dedication to our community. Since acquiring Stonebridge Academy, Magic Athletics has evolved into a thriving gym operation, and they have served over 1,367 families. My daughter has spent over 1,000 hours training with their exceptional coaches, allowing my wife and me to truly appreciate their commitment and passion for fostering growth in our youth and our community. Every day, young people walk through their doors, finding a supportive environment to grow, train, and build strong foundations for their futures. They are developing skills and values that every parent in Lincoln County hopes to instill in their children. With this rezoning, Magic Athletics plans to expand its offerings by adding a child care facility, which will support working families and attract new industries to Fayetteville. This quality child care will ease the burden on parents and make our town a more appealing place for businesses to invest. So why is this rezoning so important to our community? It will not only reflect the current use of the land, but will also strengthen our local economy, create jobs, and provide vital services for our growing community. I want to express my appreciation for what the Calverts are doing and their vision for the future of Fayetteville. I also want to thank the members of the board for your willingness to embrace change and your commitment to making Fayetteville a better place for both businesses and for families. Thank you.
Thank you. Kiara Inslee. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that.
Thank you for letting me speak today. I want to ask for a few of your time to tell you what my mom's gym means to me and the effect it has on my life. My mom never really wanted to work a normal job because me and my 3 brothers were always her first priority. From the first time I was born, my mom stayed home and took care of all 4 of us during the day so she wouldn't send us to daycare. We were really lucky to have a mom that would be with us. When I was old enough to start school and cheer, my mom somehow found a way to start a small business where we could train me and a few others to do what she always loved to do, which is cheer. My mom always had inspired me to do a lot in my future, including cheering at UT Knoxville and or Alabama. I don't know which path to take yet, but still, I think it's really cool my mom took that small business into now Cheer Magic that exists today. For 14 years, I've really seen my mom do anything other than take care of kids and train them. I think it's really cool to do something that she loves and to earn money for a family. And at the same time, I've heard it's not so easy to do. Since then, she's been able to do that for a whole lot of other kids too. Not to keep them home, but I mean to teach and train them at cheer too. Give them something fun to do. You know, there's not too many things here in Fayetteville to do that around here. As a matter of fact, taking care of kids is all I've seen my dad do too. He's a bus driver, teacher, and has 7 kids on his own, and also used to be a coach. You know, a funny story, in the same building we're in now, over 60 years old, was the first school my dad and grandmother went to. It's pretty old. I think it's really cool I get dropped off at the same building as my grandmother and my dad went to. I am telling you these things because when I finish college, I want to follow my parents' footsteps and do the same thing they do. Teach and train and take care of kids too. I want to be able to keep my own kids with me during the day, like my mom did. And I have a place to train them and their friends whenever they get older. Oh yeah, but I'm going to need a building. So, again, this isn't just a business. Everyone in this gym is like a family to me. Honestly, cheer and my cheer family is my whole life. I love every part of this and I want to see Cheer Magic grow even more. Thank you for letting me speak today. I just know my mom really needs this. Just want to let you all know that I love this gym and a lot of other people do too. And I want to promise you that these days I will really take good care of my mom's business and that she has built. Thank you.
Thank you. Lindsay Crabtree.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Lindsay Crabtree, and I've been a parent at Magic Athletics for many years. My daughter is 16 now. She's one of the original Cheer Magic athletes and has been a part of the gym for 11 years. I've watched my child and so many others grow in confidence, strength, and teamwork thanks to the staff and positive environment there. The gym has become more than just a place to practice. It's a literal second home, and I mean that literally because they've been practicing a lot lately, for so many of our families. It's really a community that uplifts kids, supports parents, and brings people together. That's why I'm here today, to voice my support for Magic Athletics and their request to rezone their property for commercial use. Over the years, I've seen and personally experienced how committed the owners are to the children they serve in our community. They've poured their hearts into building something meaningful, not just a business, but a safe place for kids and their families. Now they're trying to do even more by expanding and opening a nonprofit child care center, which is something that our area desperately needs and is huge. I'm a working single parent. I know how hard it is to find affordable child care. The thought of having a center right here run by people who understand families is huge. This child care center is about people. It's about helping families who need support and creating something for our entire community. I wanted to speak today because I know this gym. I've been a part of it for a long time. I know these people. Everyone here supporting knows these people. They know their hearts, they know their motives. They're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. They're here to build. They're not going to sell any kind of facility to any kind of facility that would harm Fayetteville. They deserve the chance to continue to build something positive here. Rezoning the property is what's right to do. As you all already know, it's surrounded by commercial zoning, and it would allow Magic Athletics to grow in a way that serves all of our families in our community. I'm asking you to please vote yes today. Please vote yes for the kids who deserve a safe place and for the families who need help. Please vote yes for a business that has already proven its commitment to this community and wants to do even more. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Carrington Holt.
Hi, my name is Carrington Holt. I'm 12 years old. I started tumbling with CMA when I was 3 years old, so I've been with them for 9 years, going on 10 years next month. I've been at CMA for a long time, for as long as I can remember. If CMA did not exist anymore, I'm not sure what I would do. CMA is much more than a place to blow off steam. For me, it's a special place with people who love me and want to see me grow. Not only do the people here want to push me in tumbling, they want to push me to be better in life. Further, Miss Tiffany is not just my coach, she's like a second mom to me. All the big events and things that I do, Miss Tiffany is one of the first people I want to tell. Miss Lindsay is also a very important person in my life. Miss Lindsay is also very important to me. Without Miss Tiffany and Miss Lindsay, they did not just push me to be a better athlete, they pushed me to be a better person in life. CMA has brought me so much joy in just not only friends every year, but in bringing people into CMA every year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, what's your name again?
Carrington Holt.
Carrington Holt? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Holt.
Next signed up to speak is Brittany Holcomb.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm Brittany Holcomb, a local business owner, so I have a few different interests in this proceeding with the rezoning, but something I want to touch on that no one else mentioned was that Tiffany and Liam were so gracious to have created a summer camp for our kids as well. So in Lincoln County, as far as I know, we only have one other facility that provides childcare in the summer. I don't want to be quoted on that, but I think. And there aren't any summer programs where our kids are active. There's a curriculum, there's a themed week. So they're learning and they're moving and exercising, and it's so beneficial to our children to have. As a working parent, I really don't know what we would be doing for summer childcare if that weren't an option for us. And I took this problem to Tiffany and Liam, and they so graciously created a program a year later. So I was very grateful that my needs were met and I was heard. So the summer camp will be the first thing I would like to mention. Also, business and economic growth. As a local business owner, I hear about childcare through many different avenues, and it's definitely an issue. We have a shortage. There's very spread out. So for us to have another facility in town, I don't believe we have one in the city that doesn't have a wait list. So in addition to that, attracted new families and businesses. And something that I thought may help with your decision tonight is that this rezoning will not change any traffic patterns. The congestion wouldn't change. The facility would still be operated as it is now. It's already a child care facility. We have after-school traffic and then pickup in the afternoon. So it shouldn't change anything for the local community other than adding more resources. Another, as Tiffany mentioned, for 12 years they've provided us with childcare without any disciplinary action. They're compliant. They're here to ask for your permission. And with my 8 years at CMA, I've always known them to be those people. They like to do things the right way, and they treat our kids fairly. And I'd like to end with something that's important to all of us is more child care resources increase our property values. So our businesses are worth more. We're drawing in more people, more jobs. Parents can go to work, and it only benefits us economically as well. So I appreciate your time, and please consider allowing our community to serve more families. Thank you.
Stephen Holcomb.
Hello, thank you. As someone that has worked in upper management at Frankie, I can confidently say that one of the most consistent challenges we face in our industry is workforce availability. And one of the leading factors behind that is the lack of accessible and affordable child care. We have highly skilled workers. Many of them are parents who are unable to return to the workforce or take full-time positions simply because they do not have reliable care for their children. When these parents are forced to miss work or adjust their schedules, it puts a strain on our operations. This isn't just a personal issue for families, it's a business issue, an economic issue, and a community issue. Having a nonprofit child care facility located right here in our city that is ran by trusted, community-driven people would make a tremendous impact. It would directly benefit companies like ours by giving employees the peace of mind they need to stay focused and committed to their jobs. It would also support recruitment and retention, giving us a competitive edge when it comes to hiring local talent. More importantly, it would show that our community is serious about removing barriers for working families and investing in long-term growth. We need this not just for our current employees, but for the future of our workforce and our city. Thank you.
Thank you. And last on the list, I have Spring Friendly. Sorry.
It's okay, I'll answer to anything.
I knew what your name was. I don't know why I said it wrong.
Sure. If you are an athlete at CMA, please stand up. So I'm here to speak. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. I've spent 22 years of my life in education. And one of the things that I've learned is our children and our youth learn so much more outside of that classroom than we ever could shoving curriculum and standards down their throat. A lot of what we used to be able to offer in the school system has kind of been choked out by some of that curriculum that we have to get, because got to get those test scores. It starts on Monday. If you don't know that, these kids do, I promise. And I see Nathan grinning. But these kids learn leadership. They learn teamwork. They learn perseverance. All of those skills that they're going to need to be productive citizens in our community later on, who are going to need that daycare system, center that they're speaking of. So we're here tonight, not only on behalf of the Calverts, but on behalf of our children and your children. Some of you have children that are not quite old enough to participate in this yet, but I hope that you will consider it because it is a very worthwhile program. Some of you have children who maybe participate in another activity in the community, perhaps dance or something along those lines. Think about the skills your children learn there. That's what these athletes are learning each and every day. When I say each and every day, raise your hand if you're at CMA 3 to 4 nights a week right now. Go ahead and put your hands down. So that tells you the dedication that not only the athletes, but we have as families, because we have to get them there. We spend our time there. So I know there's a fear that this is going to be rezoned to a drug rehabilitation center. I challenge you to think about this. If you don't provide these young people something to do, they will find something to do. Most of us grew up in this community. And it may be something we don't want them to do, and it could very well turn out where they would need that residential facility or they would need that building, but not for the purpose we're asking, for the one that you fear. So please just help the Calverts be able to give these young people a place to go, a place to grow, and a place to return and be productive citizens of our community. That's all we're asking tonight, because that's why we're here. We love our kids, and the Calverts love our kids and our community. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak at this public hearing, and it's solely on the 1107 Hedgemont Avenue? Mr. Rozier, you may come up. Oh, no.
Thank you, Mayor and Board, for allowing me to address you. I had not even planned on being here tonight, or especially addressing the board. I went so far as to tell Mr. Calvert that I wouldn't oppose him getting it rezoned. But he gave me a statement during the phone call I had with him that was very disparaging against the residents over there, and I feel like I need to set the record straight. They're concerned and they're scared that this will forever change the makeup of their residential community. We're not ignorant. We are not ignorant that a change to C3 would permit a vast host of businesses to locate on this property. Businesses that would not be compatible with the residential development. Providing safeguards and protection to residential areas is one of the stated purposes of city zoning. To prevent residential developments from being harmed by the introduction of businesses that would not have a detrimental impact on families and their property. If the board elects to rezone this property to C3, you will no longer be allowed to designate what this property can be used for. Once zoned C3, it will be open to any and all commercial uses. The owners state that their sole purpose for rezoning is to allow the introduction of a child daycare facility. Mr. Calvert, in a phone call, stated to me that it would be limited to 49 children and would operate as a nonprofit. Nobody can argue with that. That's something the city does need. But the devil lies in the details. A C3 would allow other businesses to go in there that are not compatible. If it could be zoned so that it could be only a child care or a family-oriented business, I wouldn't be here tonight. I've got some notes about the zoning charts and zoning areas in Fayetteville, but I'm not going to bore you with that. I commend you on having a very lengthy planning meeting last week, and I think you guys pretty well discussed that and got it settled out on that. I've been informed that revisions to the Fayetteville City zoning regulations are either in the works or will be shortly. A zoning category designating areas for child care, for child daycare, and other family-oriented businesses is to be created. This category would include other property usages that would complement surrounding communities, not have a negative impact on them. This would be an ideal fit for this property, exactly what the Calverts desire. Why not table this zoning request tonight until the city implements the new zoning categories? This would enable the Calverts to establish a child care daycare center they desire, while safeguarding the rights and the residents of this area and protect the integrity of their neighborhood. Both sides could have what they seek. I don't disagree with anything the other people have said tonight. I support them 110% in that respect. No one is anti-child care or anti-daycare. We just want to maintain the structure and the current family-friendly values that we have in our neighborhood. We don't want C3 commercial development across from us, adjacent to our personal residences, and I don't think you would want C3 next to your personal residences either. While these are indeed my personal views, I am also voicing the concerns and the fears of the many residents of this area. I speak not only for myself, I also speak for them. A classmate of mine who has become a very well-respected trial attorney once explained to me the concept of legal, right, and just, and how they
Roger, you
interact
need to
with
wrap
one
it
another.
up. Your time's up.
Almost there.
Okay.
He said, and I quote, "An action may be legal, and while it may be legal, it may not be the right thing to do. Sometimes legal and
Madam
right
Mayor,
conflict with
the
one
culverts
another."
were told to stop, so I believe he needs to stop as well. Thank you. So, thank you, Mr. Roger. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak? Yes, sir. Come forward. State your name.
My name is Stephen Donovan.
If you will speak into the mic so that they
My
can hear
name
you.
is Stephen Donovan. I honestly was not prepared to speak tonight, but after what was just said, I wanted to step up here. I've lived in this community for 44 years, and I've watched fear dictate. That's why we got 10 Mexican restaurants. Fear. I'd just like to say, when I was a kid, back in the 80s, I'm sorry, I'm in a great deal of pain.
Oh,
We had a liquor by the drink referendum, and I remember being told as a child that that would lead to nothing but gamblers and whoremongers running this town. And everybody feared the hotel. And it got built. No gamblers, no whoremongers running. I don't assume none of y'all are that. But this is ridiculous to act like 8th District is going to become something other than a boon for our community. I mean, that's just silly. Like I say, I'm hurting pretty bad, so I ain't going to stay up here too long, but quit worrying about what could be, and let's focus on what is going to be. And that's a family-run business that's going to support this community, grow, and turn into a legacy, something that generationally will be a part of our community. Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else that would like to speak to this matter? Hearing none, we will close this public hearing, and you are welcome to leave if you want to leave. If not, we will begin the board meeting. It's been requested to take a 5-minute recess, so if you want to stand up, stretch your legs, go to the restroom, it's right down the hall. You've got 5 minutes. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for the City of Fayetteville, Tennessee. This is our regular monthly meeting, April the 8th, 2025. Tonight, here with us, we have Reverend Kenny McNabb from the Hope Assembly to say our prayer, followed by we will have Joe and Madden Abernathy who will come up and say the pledge. So if you want to come forward now, and we'll have our prayer first and then pledge second. Please stand.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight and we thank you for the blessings that you've given us. Lord, we thank you that we do live in a wonderful place. Tonight as we come together, we know that there are decisions that need to be made that not only affect our community, we look at it, we understand it affects families and lives here. And so, Father, tonight we invoke, we invite your presence here. And we ask that as we do that, you would give wisdom where wisdom is needed. You would give clarity where clarity is needed. And we thank you that in all things you are good. We give you thanks for it today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. You are welcome to stay or you're welcome to leave at this time. Board, you have before you the agenda presented for tonight. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, the agenda will stand as presented. Also, in your board package, you have the regular monthly meetings for the March 11th, 2025 meeting. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Those minutes will also stand as presented. Item number 6 is public comments. These comments are a time for you to speak to the board, that we will not engage back with you because we want you to take your 3 minutes and state what you have to say. So this is something that you have to sign up by 2 o'clock the afternoon of the meeting. So first up, we have Liam Calvert.
Good evening. Thank you for giving us all the opportunity to speak with y'all. I want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for y'all's time, service, and y'all's considerations on the issues that help shape our city. Rezoning 1107 Hedgemont isn't just about land use or lines on a map. This is about our future. It's about where our children will grow up, where families will build memories, and where hardworking people can find the child care they need. It's about making sure our community has the opportunity to grow. We trust that you see the heart behind our request, and we ask you to consider not only the technical aspects of the rezoning, but also the real lives that it will affect. This is a chance to help strengthen the fabric of our community and to invest something that truly matters to the people that live here. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Ray Rozier.
Guarantee I saved them 3 minutes on this.
Okay.
This is the third hearing on this issue, and the parties remain as far apart as they did on day one. It's time to put this issue to bed and to end the misinformation, disinformation, fear of lawsuits, and rumors that have circled this whole situation. During the board's planning meeting last week, and again, I commend you on doing an excellent job on that, but during the board's planning meeting last week, Alderman Keenan referenced fear-mongering. His comments appeared in the Elk Valley Times article today, and I suppose there indeed has been fear-mongering, but it's been on both sides. But Mr. Keenan also stated, and I quote, "bunches of names, children, adults, dead people, whatever," unquote, as listed on petition papers which I submitted to the board after speaking at the prior 2 public hearings. I personally initiated the circulation of those petitions, and I accept full responsibility for their content. I can assure the board that I had no knowledge of children or dead people signing these petition papers. That would be fraud. I don't know, but I suspect that submitting fraudulent papers to a city government is probably illegal. If Mr. Keenan truly believes that I knowingly committed a fraud on the city, I guess he needs to have me arrested. Thank you.
Thank you. Next to speak is Angela Airy.
Good evening, Mayor, Alderman, city officials. My name is Angela Airy, and I have the privilege of being both legal counsel for the Calverts as well as mother of 3 daughters that have taken part in Cheer Magic for over 8 years now. I want to real briefly just kind of point out to the Alderman some comments earlier about once it's Zone C3, any business could go in there. I think you're all well aware that C3 actually has listed out specific uses, not just any business can go in there. There is a difference between each zoning section, which is why it's important to have the Planning and Commission look at that and approve it, and how we ended up here today. But my main purpose for my comments tonight is to propose a solution to the concerns of the community and the alderman regarding the potential use of the property as a drug rehabilitation center. Because in listening to your work session on April 3rd, that seemed to be a lot of what your questions were regarding, was what happens if we approve this C3, they sell the property, any future owner is going to be able to come in and do what they want and put one in, and we have no control at that point. So what I would offer for that, and the easiest way to handle that, would be to prohibit that from happening while allowing it to be rezoned and create what's called a restrictive covenant. Some of you might be aware of what that is, some of you might not, but a restrictive covenant binds the land. It runs with the land, so any future owners that take over that property are also beholden to that prohibited use. It would be very easy to create a restrictive covenant that says this property currently cannot be used or cannot in the future be used for a drug rehabilitation center. These are used in residential settings, these are used in commercial settings. Courts routinely enforce them for many years. For instance, I live in the Twin Oaks subdivision. My neighborhood and house is obligated to not do a lot of things under its restrictive covenants. If I sell my house, the new owner is going to also be bound by all of those restrictive covenants. There's nothing I have to do to activate them. They're just there. They run with the land. The Calverts, we've discussed this all day today, the Calverts are proposing and are willing to put a restrictive covenant on the entire tract of land that would deny the use of a drug rehabilitation center now and in the future. I know some of your questions were regarding what if they subdivide this land out and they use part of the land for something else? Could someone come in at that point and do it on that part of the land? That restrictive covenant can apply to the whole tract of land. So if it's subdivided, that is subdivided subject to that restrictive covenant. So you have a way of prohibiting the very thing that the community is concerned about, and that some of the aldermen could be concerned about. I also want to add too that with that solution, which I think is easy, it can be done very easy. I think you guys can vote tonight to go ahead and approve with the condition of the restrictive covenant. There's no need to table this, so we can move forward and do what's best for the community. Thank you.
Real quick, ma'am, yeah, you are. What is your name and your title again?
It's Angela Airy. I am an attorney at the Calverts, and I'm also a mom of one of the athletes, Reese. Raise your hand. There.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I needed.
Okay, that completes our public comments for tonight. So we will move on with our board meeting. Going into reports, we have CEO Britt Dye with Fayetteville Public Utilities to speak to us tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. A few things we got to talk about this evening is the water project that's fixing to happen around the square. We're going to tear up the street, we're going to repair the street, and we'll get out of the way. We're going to do the work at night. We'll be starting at around 8 o'clock at night and working till 7 o'clock the next morning. We went around to most of all the businesses in the last 2 days. We still like about 12 that hasn't been there, that has been notified to come down and meet with us at FPU for a little breakfast kind of thing and go into detail what we're going to be doing. We're going to try not to interrupt service during businesses is our goal. So if it's other than that, I guess that'll all be on me. But our time at night is when we're going to try to do the job. April the 16th is when the meeting is at 8 o'clock at FPU. You all will be invited as well if you want to come down and see what's going to be going on inside the city, because we got a lot of work to do. It's a $30 million project, and it's going to cover a lot throughout the entire city. On the electric side, we've been increasing our phases down toward Quick Screw Road on the gas side. Also on the primary side and down around Barnes Hollow, we're reconducting the primary, changing poles. We increased the voltage from 7,200 to 14,400, which gives us a better ideal on voltage where you don't have a lot of drop there. It's more for convenience for the customers. When the load picks up, we can be able to carry that load. Our trees, we've been having a very aggressive tree trimming program here in the last 5 years, and as you can see, when I send the report out to our board members, you know, our system's been holding up very, very well throughout the storms. It's just that the ground is getting so saturated now, the trees are falling and causing a little bit of problem. But when you have a storm like we had the other night, we only had about 700 customers out. It says a lot about the system being in good shape. Plus, we got a very dedicated workforce. 21 students we have now listed for job shouting that's going on right now through every department in FPU. And we also are working with the state again on the apprentice program and the water side that we have high school students that's coming through to learn how to do that as well. Student Utility Board, they still going through every department. They're getting ready to graduate here next couple of months. They'll be able to go through what they've learned as far as what FPU's been able to do for them. The town design and broadband. We got fiber out in the rural community. We'll be designing the new fiber inside the city limits, which will be coming up, and we're almost finished up with that design. The east part of the county right now, we're finishing up on the fiber build. We're inside the middle mile project grant right now that we got awarded. So we'll be going through several spots inside the county. And then we have applied for the BEAD grant on the economic development side. That's the broadband equity access and deployment. And other than that, we're very, very busy on budgets. And we got a lot going on. So if you have any questions,
Yeah, quick question. I might have missed it. When will the construction start around the square?
Right now, we're planning on starting right at the 1st of May.
1st of May, okay. And then what about the, I know you're in design phase of fiber in the city. When do you think implementation, and will the implementation be tearing up streets, or is it simply overhead?
It'll be going overhead.
Okay.
But at the same time, it might be where we might just be relashing to the existing fiber that we built. Well, it's not really fiber, it's a coax.
Okay.
That was the first part of the system when we went into the business back in 1999. So now we're going to be...
We're going back.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're going back.
Okay, thank you. That's all I got.
Sorry, do we have to touch on the ordinance for the after-hours work? Has that been addressed?
I don't think so. There's an ordinance.
The restrictions on work after hours, it restricts the operation of the equipment working on the streets. We talked about
Do we
possibly
need
having
to touch on it based on the FPU work?
Yes, because they're working at night on the square.
Yeah, and if it's starting 1st of May, then we need to...
You get on it right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last month, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
will
'cause
will that take a board vote to revoke, or what? I mean, I think we...
I think we just have to amend it for a period of time.
Mr. Hill, can you look into that for us and advise us?
And I can consult with Mr. Dye to see,
Okay.
once we get closer to make sure we're still on track, whether we potentially could do a special call meeting if necessary. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we plan, when you go back to the 1st of May, we're actually planning for May the 5th is
Okay.
the date that we're planning for.
Okay.
So we'll get that and get back to the board and let you know on what you think. And Mr. Dotton.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move to our standing committee reports. First up, we have the Fire Department, Chief Bergman.
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of March, the department responded to 129 incidents. This included 114 EMS runs, 2 hazardous conditions, 1 service call, 3 good intent, 7 false alarms, and 2 fires. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Next is the Police Department, Chief Jennings.
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of March, we had 89 incidents, total of 42 arrests, total of 39 traffic crashes, issued 64 citations, and a total of 1,731 police activity events. Our Criminal Investigation Division have a total of 441 cases on hand, with 10 new cases open, 12 cases were closed, and they made 4 arrests for that month. And that's my report.
Thank you, sir. Finance Department, Director Garner.
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of February, for sales tax received in March, the total was $278,755. State share sales tax for the same period was $67,198. Occupancy tax received in March for the month of February was $9,391. That is my report.
Thank you. Moving now to Recreation Department, Director Browning.
Thank you, Mayor. This Saturday, April the 12th, we'll have our Easter extravaganza down at Don Davidson between 2 and 4. Softball sign-ups will conclude this week. bingo. We had a great turnout yesterday. I'd like to thank Chief Davey for his talent of calling numbers for our bingo. Looking forward to that next month. Men of Virtue Every Day and Ladies of Virtue Every Day will continue April the 15th, and homeschool PE will be April 25th. And that is my report.
Thank you. Public Works Department.
Good evening, Mayor and Board of Alderman. Mr. Williams is on vacation this week, but he did send the following report to be reported for Public Works. For the brush pickup, we had 146 cases. For household waste, we had 284. And for the garage work orders, there were 37 orders this month. And that concludes the Public Works report.
Thank you for reporting on that. Planning and Codes Department, Director Gentry.
Thank you, Mayor. 14 permits were issued in the month of March. The total project valuation was $573,580. The total permit fees were $2,055. 29 property maintenance violations were issued last month. We do want to welcome our new property maintenance inspector, Garrett Jones. He started with our department on March the 24th. We always want to remind everybody this time of year, home improvement projects are starting, and a lot of projects do require permits, such as new windows, pools, roofs, fences. Those are just to name a few. If you have questions on if a permit is required, Ms. Jill Smith, our building inspector, is happy to answer any questions. The April Planning Commission meeting will still occur on April the 22nd, but it's at a special time of 4 p.m. to accommodate the 5 p.m. board's budget meeting that is also scheduled that day. And there is a BZA meeting that's scheduled for April the 23rd at 10 a.m. and that will be for 2 setback variance requests for single-family homes. And that's my report.
Thank you. Then we'll move to the City Administrator's report. Mr. Owens.
Good afternoon again. For the City Administration report, we're going to report on the following. In the month of April, we did meet last week with the county, and we're continuing to work on our comprehensive animal control program. We're meeting right now every 4 to 5 weeks, but that's very active right now. We're at the end of we have concluded our contract with the sidewalks. We're at the point now, we're still doing some touch-ups, and that will be going on throughout the month of April, but we're also looking at the future, so we're making contact and we're talking with TDOT to start that process. We have budget sessions on April 22nd and 29th right here in the auditorium, so we are looking forward to starting that at 5 p.m. on both evenings. We have started, not started, but we're trying to wrap up our ADA program for the month, for the fiscal year 24-25. So we're going to be doing some activities with Parks and Recs and some in the municipal building to make sure we're meeting our ADA requirements. And finally, we did get information about traffic lights, so we're working on a plan to address the board and educate what we need on the traffic lights. So Mr. Williams and I started that a couple of weeks, and you will be hearing more about that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. We have no unfinished business. We will now move into the new business. Item A, this is concerning ordinance number 2025-06. This is an ordinance that is amending the zoning ordinance on the property on Hedgemont Avenue. That's 1107 Hedgemont Avenue. This would change it from an R2 to a C3. Do I have a motion for ordinance number 2025-06?
Madam Mayor, I make the motion to, go ahead and just get it through, 2025-06, rezoning of 1107 Hedgemont Avenue from R2 to C3.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Painter.
Are we including that restrictive covenant?
To ask him to make the restricted covenant part of his motion.
I'd also like to go ahead and do that as
Can
well
we do
for
that
that
at this
99
time?
year. We can do that. I've looked it up.
Okay, well, I'll have to ask Lee.
That's fine. Yeah, legally. Yep.
So,
Yeah, I think he can amend his motion.
With the amendment, with that, upon that motion as well, for them to have that 99-year constituent there. the consultant there.
Covenant.
Covenant. Covenant, sorry. What did I say?
That's fine, that's fine.
Sorry, covenant.
Okay, so we have a motion now to change it from a R2 to a C3 with the stipulation in there about the covenant for 99 years.
So, sorry.
Can I hear a full motion, please? With the
Yeah, so
amendment?
with the rezoning of the 1107 Hedgemont Avenue from R2 to C03 with the covenant of it not to be taken away, they will have all the, if any business comes in within 99 years, they cannot make it any other thing but what it is. Is that right? Am I, no?
Cannot be a drug rehab.
Drug rehab.
Restricted from drug rehab.
Restricted from drug rehab.
Yes.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Any other questions?
Yeah, is so the ordinance is going to be revised, and the ordinance is going to say that, or how are we going to enforce that?
I think as I understand it, the motion is to pass the ordinance.
And then we'll go back.
With the restricted, with the understanding that there's gonna be a restricted covenant.
Yeah.
Yep, restricted covenant for that particular issue. Yep.
Is everyone clear on what we're voting on?
I'd like to know if there are any other undesirable businesses other than drug rehab that may come up, or if anybody has that in their thought right now.
I agree with what she's saying, but I think with Ms. Christie saying the other day that y'all was going to revisit all of the zoning and stuff, I think we can deal with that.
Okay,
at that,
we can,
at that
okay.
time.
All
Or
right.
y'all can. Yeah,
Okay,
y'all
yeah.
committee.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear.
Right. Any other questions on what we're voting on?
I don't have any other questions, but I just have some things to say, and I'm not going to keep this long. Y'all know me, and everyone else knows me as well. I have a lot of things that I have to say.
Just wait,
Hold on,
that can go in discussion.
No,
Yeah.
We need a
we're
Gotta go
we're
in
getting to the
discussion.
discussion. The second's done been made, I believe, because you seconded it.
But I haven't
correct?
called for
No,
this
we haven't called for a second.
Okay.
Because we had to stop and go back to
Okay.
your motion. Okay, so we have a motion by Alderman
I
Painter.
will second that.
My Alderman Keenan will second that. Now we can open for discussion.
Sure. Anybody else have anything to say? I mean, I'll let y'all go first. Not, Miss Envy had right here, had a really good point, and believe me, I'm listening to when you're talking. A favorite place to be. You know where my favorite place is to be? In the back of an ambulance, helping others and working with people. That's my favorite place to be. I can only assume, Miss Dorothy was her favorite place to be before she retired was in an operating room, being in the military for Mr. Keenan, being in a race car, being in a bank, being in a police car, helping lawyers do what they need to do, and also being a lawyer. That's what we do and what we try to be better in what we're doing in our lives and what we do in our careers. And so I appreciate you for saying that you really love where you wanted to be. And also Miss Holt, who's 12 years old, who looks like she's about 20, look like she could probably go to college right now on a scholarship. And what you said was amazing. I really appreciate what you had to say. Mr. Rozier, you say that the devil is in the details. The devil is not in the details. It is, but so is Jesus. And I'm not going to sit here and preach because I'm not a preacher. But I can tell you that, wherever you find the devil, you find Christ. And
I think I need to call point of order here. And
no,
let's get
this
to
is my discussion, Madam Mayor. I would appreciate if you let me finish.
We've got to discuss the ordinance.
The ordinance has been discussed. We're on discussion right now.
Yeah, but the discussion is about the ordinance. If
And that's where we're going.
If we could just keep it there, I think we want to.
Let's keep it focused.
If that's what you want, are y'all okay with that? Keeping the discussion just right there and not actually what the kids and stuff are working with?
We have business to do.
I understand we have business, but this is about what's good for the community.
Mr. Painter, I think what we have here.
All right, you know what?
we
All
have
right, fine, Madam Mayor. Then let's go on with the vote.
Okay, so we've had a discussion, so now Debbie, we call the vote.
Yeah.
please.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye. This motion carries.
Congratulations, guys.
Everybody else is. It's just, I just want to tell the Culverts, that I appreciate the fact that they.
Well, hang on a second. I mean, you got to talk about yours. Why can't I talk about mine?
All I'm doing is thanking them
Okay,
for
all right.
their.
That's fine.
That's accurate.
Congratulations, guys.
And Mr. Rozier, I think this is a good compromise.
Okay, we'll move on with item B. This is ordinance number 2025-07, City of Fayetteville Budget Amendment number 9. Do you have this in your board packet? This includes, this is for a total of $185,220. It represents two different items here. So do I have a motion for this ordinance?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderman Bradford, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Alder. Any discussion? Debbie, we call the vote.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Abstain.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
This motion carries. Moving now to item C. This is for ordinance 2025-08, amending 3-02 of the municipal code for court costs. This came before this board previously, and it was brought back for us to change. There is wording about the $1 court cost charge. So, Mr. Hill, you brought this back to our attention. So, do I have a motion for this correction of 2025-08?
Motion to approve.
Wait a minute.
Second.
/08. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one. Let's back that up. Okay, so item C is for ordinance 2025-08. This is amending the municipal code. This is saying court costs, and this is saying one other thing. This is the litigation tax. That's right. Okay.
Went to 150.
Okay. 110 and $1. Okay, so now we have the motion by
Jeff Bradford?
Jeff Bradford, second.
Mr. Keenan?
Mr. Keenan, any discussion? That was confusing. Did we call the vote?
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Abstain.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item D, this is regarding ordinance 2025-09. This is the food truck ordinance. This has been presented to you in your package. We have reviewed this in several times in work session, committee meetings. The food truck ordinance provided to you at your desk tonight, that is the ordinance that we are voting on. Do I have any motion on this one? Yes.
Can we, are there changes in this one other than what we read on the iPad for the meeting tonight?
If I may?
The one that we have here?
The one that was uploaded onto the iPad was one that I received Friday afternoon, and then, Mr. Owen sent one out Saturday, which is updated.
Okay.
And I made some minor changes to the one paragraph that Alderman Keenan pointed out had
And that
an
paragraph
omission in
is,
it.
please.
That was the grammar correction? Charlie?
It was
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, you just removed it.
Well, and there was, yeah, that particular sub part of that paragraph
Captured in previous.
I did delete that, but I did make a few minor grammatical changes to that one paragraph. And I believe that's all the changes I've made to it since the.
Okay. And I just have one question on paragraph under section 9-1207, under application, in the paragraph there, the Board of Mayor and Alderman shall issue or deny such permits. The word issue or approve. And I'm just asking for clarification.
Which paragraph was that? I'm sorry. Which one?
The first paragraph under application, the Board of Mayor and Alderman shall issue or deny permits. Approve.
And that's for special event
Okay.
permits.
Okay.
It's not the regular food truck.
Yes, okay, that's what I need, thank you.
May I ask a legal question of council?
Sure.
Johnny, is it necessary that we have a food ordinance? I asked this the other day, and I understand what Alderman Alder said, but, I mean, is there is it?
I mean, there's no state statute that requires us to have one. I know when this first kind of came up several years ago, we were struggling because we were trying to apply just kind of the street vendor ordinance to food trucks, and it wasn't a terribly good fit at the time, and the fee was actually higher. So I know several years back the board at that point decided that we would try to create the original ordinance that we're potentially amending tonight. To say that there's not a state statute that requires us to have one. I guess would be the short answer to your question.
Okay. All right, so do I have a motion to pass ordinance number 2025-09? This is the mobile food vendors, food truck, as we call it, ordinance. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
A motion by Alderman Keenan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Small. Any discussion? No discussion. Debbie, will you call the vote, please?
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
No.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
No.
Mr. Bradford?
No.
It's a tie vote.
It's a tie vote. I would say no. That motion fails. That ordinance fails. We'll move to item E. This is Resolution R 2025-04. This is approval to apply for the Blue Cross Blue Shield Place Grant. This comes to us out of the Recreation Department. Do I have a motion for this resolution?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion by Alderman Painter, second by Alderman Keenan. Any discussion? Debbie, we call the vote.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item F, this is Resolution R 2025-05. This is a resolution to purchase a grapple truck through Sourcewell. That is a purchasing agency that the city goes through. Kind of like if you went through the state to purchase things, you can go through different agencies. So do I have a motion to purchase this vehicle?
Make a motion to purchase the vehicle.
Motion by Alderman Keenan, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Alder. Any discussion? Debbie, call the vote, please.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Abstain.
That motion carries. Item G, this is regarding Resolution R-2025-06. This is for the approval to apply for the Bulletproof Vest Grant. This is a 50-50 grant. This comes through us through the police department. Do I have a motion for this resolution to apply?
So.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Keenan, second by Alderman Painter. Any discussion? Debbie, call the vote, please.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item H, this is a request for the authorization of this board to allow Attorney Hill to turn over the delinquent 2023 taxes to the Lincoln County Clerk and Master's Office for collection. Do I have a motion for this authorization?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Faulkner, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Alder. Any discussion? Debbie, we call the vote.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Abstain.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
This motion carries. Item I, This is to declare the 2004 Nissan Xterra as a surplus vehicle and to put it on Gov Deals for sale. Do I have a motion for this action?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bradford, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Faulkner. Any discussion on this vehicle? Putting it on Gov Deals for sale. Debbie, call the vote, please.
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
That motion carries. We move now to item J. This is for the FPU board appointment. I would like to recommend Eddie Plunkett to the FPU board to replace John Paul Richardson, whose term expired June the 30th, 2023. Mr. Richardson has served on the FPU board for over 16 years, and I believe it is time for a change. I feel very strongly about this appointment based on Mr. Plunkett's knowledge of the city infrastructure after 28 years of service in the Public Works Department and as building inspector. This appointment will expire June the 30th, 2026. Do I have a motion for this recommendation of appointment?
So moved.
Have a motion by Alderman Faulkner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Keenan. Do I have any discussion?
I have a question. At the last meeting, this appointment was voted down, and there was no motion to reconsider, and there was no appointment, no notification to reconsider. So how do we handle this? Board action was that it was not approved.
Alderman Small, I'm not aware that the mayor cannot rebring this. Now, I do think, you know, we don't want, if it fails again tonight, that's, as it did before, I think we would probably have a discussion about any further attempts to bring this forward, but I'm not, we've had this situation years in the past, and I haven't studied up on it in preparation for tonight's meeting, but I know we have allowed this to happen in the past, and it's my understanding that that can happen.
Also in the charter, it does not put limitations on this, so any other discussion? Debbie, you call the vote.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Well, since it's under vote, I understand, you know, where we are now. So I'm going to leave it up to the mayor. Aye.
Ms. Small?
No.
Mr. Alder?
No.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Bradford?
No.
I vote yes. Now moving to item K. This is for a library board appointment. I would like to recommend Jamie King to the library board to replace Brian Carter, whose term expired June the 30th, 2023. I presented the board with Ms. King's bio for review previously. Her diversity and experience will bring a wealth of knowledge to the library board. The expiration of this appointment will be June the 30th, 2026. Do I have a motion for this appointment?
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Faulkner made the motion, second by Keenan. Any discussion for this recommendation appointment? Debbie, call the vote, please.
Mr. Painter?
Abstain.
Ms. Small?
No.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Bradford?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
That motion carries. That concludes our business for tonight, and I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you.